with my homie Jacob. For you
Yeah.
guys who don't watch, or this is maybe your first time, what we do is this is like him and I at coffee. So it's titled Conversations because that's all it is. We're about to have a conversation, more conversations about coffee, sports, but also maybe talk about the Bible a little bit, hopefully, get some of his wisdom. So if you guys haven't yet, get your notebooks out because I know he's got lots of wisdom. So, bro, how are you doing?
I'm doing amazing, man. I'm doing
Yeah.
awesome. Excited for Easter. It's beautiful finally here. I live in the Portland area, so we've just been getting rain like every day. So we
Yeah.
finally had like some 70-degree days. It's been beautiful, man.
Let's go. Does it ever not rain in Portland though? Is there a day that it doesn't?
It's like we have 4 seasons a day.
Yeah, right.
Crazy.
Yeah. It's been so we're in the season. So I'm in Omaha, Nebraska, and ours are 30 in the morning and then like 70 in the afternoon. So it's like you got to wear the jacket in the morning and then you're starting to sweat by afternoon. So
That's crazy.
yeah.
That's just weird.
So I mentioned coffee. So are you a coffee guy or are you not?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
you drink straight black coffee or are you more?
I put like a little bit of oat milk in my coffee.
Okay, there we
And
go.
then we have Stumptown here in Portland, so I just drink from their Ethiopia blend. It's so good.
Oh, yeah, dude. So we have people on this all the time, and that's usually the first question. And some people you can tell that are like, no, I don't. And then there's also people who are in like the vanilla latte phase
Uh-huh.
that we all started in. And we've
Yep.
progressed, we've been sanctified to just black coffee.
Sanctified. Yes.
Dude, I gotta send you some coffee beans. So we have Archetype.
Please.
It's like 2 or 3 ranked coffee bean in the world.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm blessed.
Wow.
And it's a big deal to me. It's near and dear to my heart. So I
Send
gotta
me some, please.
let's go. So bro, I'm gonna have a couple questions just about social media. I know that you and I both are on social media a lot, but more than just social media, I think we obviously do have an agenda behind it. We're not just posting or creating content to just like
Right.
get followers or get high fives from people at the mall. I don't necessarily know if that's our agenda. But talk to me a little bit about your journey with, I know that you even founded like an organization and stuff. So talk us through a little bit about your journey with this, that type of stuff.
Yeah. So with social media, I wasn't really doing much at all until the beginning of 2020. So in January of 2020, I saw 2 videos on Instagram, like during the same week in the beginning of the year. So I saw one from Gary Vee. You know Gary Vee? So he was saying like, hey, everyone's on TikTok right now, like all these teenagers, young people, and a lot of the older generation thinks it's just like girls and guys dancing and like little comedy clips. But he said, if you have a niche, if you're an educator, like if you have something good to bring to people, you need to get on this thing right now because it's heading that way. A lot of people just don't see it yet. So he said, post like 3 videos a day of whatever your niche is. And then the same week, there's this awesome guy that I was following on Instagram. His name's Alex Wilson. And he makes amazing Christian content.
Yeah.
He says the same thing. He's like, if you're a pastor, you need to get on TikTok. We need more light in this darkness. This is a dark place. And this is where the teens and young people are right now. So if you want to reach Gen Z and more millennials, get on this app and start preaching the gospel. So I prayed about it. God said, do it.
Yeah.
And I just started with, opening the TikTok account, sharing my testimony. And at that time when I started, there were very few Christian TikTokers. A lot of it was like Christian comedy, kind of like the Christian subculture deal.
Right. Yeah.
And then there was a couple people actually like preaching the gospel. So I went on the route of, I want to preach the gospel and see what God does through this. So I started, doing videos where I pray, I preach the gospel. I started to get creative with props and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it just grew exponentially so fast. I think in April 2020, I was already at around 300,000 followers. And then by the end of the year, I was at 1 million followers. And now I'm at almost 1.2 million followers on TikTok.
It's insane.
And I'm reaching, 3 to 5 million people a week through the videos that I'm posting. It's just incredible. But, through doing this, there are so many temptations. There's so many terrible temptations of pride that fall into your heart that you need to battle constantly. And I think it'd be really naive to say that that isn't true for everybody on social media. We all wake up in the morning and we all want a pat on the back. We want to feel accepted. We want to feel loved. So a lot of people try to find that through social media, through getting the likes, through getting the video views, through posting a viral thing. And that's a very delicate thing to walk on if you're a Christian, if you're a Christian content creator. Actually one book that's really helped me in this process is this book by a worship pastor named Jeremy Riddle, and it's a book called The Reset. So he talks about gaining fame as a worship leader, and he has so many followers and people just love everything he does, like him and Stephanie Gretzinger, if you know who that is.
Yep.
So it's like whatever they touch turns to gold. And he just talks about his process of being humbled by the Lord, because there's so many temptations. What if I just need to write the right song and it'll go viral and it'll be on the radio and I'll make my millions? There's so much temptation like that. And the root of that is satanic. That's how Satan fell from heaven. He wanted to ascend the heights of heaven. He wanted to climb up the mountain. So the Bible is so different. It's opposite. God says that he exalts the humble. He opposes the proud.
Yeah.
So if we're prideful about this stuff we're doing, you're going to be brought low.
Oh yeah.
But if you do this with humility, God will lift you up.
Yeah.
So I've been just asking the Lord through this process to just humble me, keep me broken, keep me low, and give me a heart for the people on the other side of the screen.
Yeah.
So before I post a video, I'm thinking, what is the person on the other side of the screen going? How are they going to respond to this? And does this lift up Jesus, or is it lifting up Jacob?
Right.
So that's been my process, and it's just been so unexpected. I was posting like maybe 1 or 2 Instagrams just of my coffee, or the once a year family picture, maybe 1 or 2 posts a month, maybe. So now even on Instagram, there's been a lot of great growth on that, and there's so many people being reached on that app, especially when they brought Reels out.
Yeah.
Like that was just crazy. I do better on Reels than on TikTok lately.
Wow.
Like I'm just reposting my TikToks on Reels.
Yeah, right.
Everything is just reaching millions of people. It's just wild, man.
Yeah.
It's a total God thing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's blatantly obvious that God's graced you for that. I think that's even something for the viewers. I think people are graced for specific seasons, for specific things. We're not all called to do the exact same thing.
Right.
Obviously, we're called to Matthew 28, go. And whatever people's go is, it might look a little different.
Right.
That kind of the follow-up is for you, or maybe even for me, or for anyone watching this. What do you, in your perspective, what is the goal for creating content on social media, or using the next marketing scheme? So I own a marketing agency as well, so it's kind of the other flip side. So obviously we all have strategies and different things, but what in your mind is the goal for social media?
Yeah, the goal for me is to uplift and educate people and empower people. I want to lift them closer to Jesus. I want to educate them about Jesus, and I want to empower Christians to do what I'm doing in their own way.
Yeah.
So I've inspired a lot of people to start doing this. It's awesome. I'm not just inspiring people to, my first goal is I want to inspire people to get into the church, get baptized, read the word, start following Jesus. That's number one. That's success for me. And I take screenshots of every DM that I get. That I get a lot of negative ones.
Oh yeah.
Positive ones, hey, thank you. My life's been transformed. Your video showed up. Now I'm going to church. I'm getting baptized on Easter. Thank you so much. It was that one video that changed everything. And I'm like, That's so crazy. Like, how does that even happen? So that's my first like level or way to measure success, is that people are walking into church and they're actually following Jesus. But secondary is, I want to empower Christians to preach the gospel. I want to empower Christians to have more faith. Lately, I've been posting more videos of myself doing evangelism or praying for the sick, actually doing the stuff, because we talk a lot. We have a lot of opinions, especially in 2020. You see a lot of pastors. The only thing we're able to do on social media is what we're doing right now, just like the coffee talk. But I think people need to see more content. They need to see more examples of Christians actually walking their faith out.
Yeah.
They need to see God move. So I just posted a video yesterday. I prayed for this woman who was so sick.
Yep.
And it was so amazing how God just orchestrated this whole thing together. And in the video, she just shoots up out of her bed. It was just a miracle.
Dude, so cool.
And she walked downstairs, like they had to carry her. She would scream every day in so much pain for 3 weeks. She walks down the stairs. Her mom makes her mashed potatoes and fish.
Come on.
And she eats 2 plates of it. It was just like the most, it felt like I was in the book of Acts, man.
Yeah.
It was incredible. So I want to show more content like that to people.
Yeah. Hey,
the book of Acts, you can live this out. You can live the Bible out. You can actually walk like the disciples of Jesus. That's what we're called to do. So I think, especially in our Gen Z millennial generation right now, we're full of opinions.
Oh yeah.
People need to see examples of Christians actually doing the Bible, actually living it out instead of just talking about it.
Right.
So those are ways that I measure success, is when I hear, other Christians reach out to me and they say, hey, I started posting Christian content, and this is what God's doing, or hey, I'm hitting the streets, or I'm applying for this internship now at this church or YWAM or whatever. So those are always encouraging to me.
To this day, like I believe in social media. I believe that obviously we might as well use it if it's here.
Yeah.
But even since the start, it's been like, all right, this is a tool. Like this is not it. This is a part of it, but it is not it. And I think that's something to be said. It's like, we are using it to reach people, get them plugged into their local church, but also very much so, like as Christians, like to show people what God's doing in your life. Like for God's sakes, if we don't show that we're at coffee with a friend, like you said, or it's fun. Like people need to enjoy it, not endure their Christianity, but enjoy it.
Yes.
We're supposed to be the light of the world. Like let's actually be it, versus the boring Christian who's just like, I don't want to touch social media. It's like, dude, you don't have to be the Instagram influencer, but you can influence your neighbor or somebody that you know at school. It doesn't have to be this full-time thing, but it can be.
It totally can be. And even a few years ago, before social media became what it even is now, I remember my pastor said, for a lot of people, the first door of your church that people walk through is your Instagram or your 100%. Website. They're not going to show up until they see what you're doing on Instagram or YouTube or TikTok or your website. So that's a first impression for a lot of people. I do that when I'm going out to a restaurant.
100%.
I'm not just gonna walk in. I want to look at the reviews. I want to look at the menu. I want to see what this place is all about. I want to see what the vibe's like. Is this a place I'm gonna enjoy? What do I really want to take my wife on a date to this place? Right. So if we do that I think as a Christian leader, we don't step in other people's shoes. Yeah. We're like, well, we've been doing church for all these years, but we need to step into, a first timer's shoes, someone who's never gone to church before. And we need to think what would get me to decide to come to church? What would get me to decide to actually want to start reading the Bible? Yeah. So social media is it's a huge tool, man, to reach people.
Yeah, for about a year and a half, I helped oversee our marketing for the church and running the social and stuff. And that's it. Like, especially people under 30, like that's what they're going to go their Instagram, and it's like a search engine. Like they're going to look up
Right.
My City Church and they're going to say, oh,
Yep.
okay, this is dope. Or it's going to be like, no. And even that, like, so now I help kind of oversee the operations of the church. So everything from Sunday mornings to teams to leadership stuff. And that's really what it is like, all right, yeah, we can get people from social, but from the parking lot to the auditorium, how are we making them feel and experience? And it should feel the same way on social media. Like it
Yep.
should be fun, vibrant, young, not boring. Like we're fun, and it's focused on community. But kind of transitioning a little bit more focused on you. I love talking to people about their like daily habits. So what is your kind of daily, if you have one, a daily routine look like? Because I know it's crazy. Aunt Rona hopefully is soon to be over, but from the past year, I guess.
Please God.
Yes.
Oh man, yeah, daily routine. I wake up pretty early because we've got two daughters and they're early risers. So I try to wake up before them. They used to be my alarm, but I like waking up before them and just getting up out of bed. So I just take some time, pray, check the stock market. I do a little bit of day trading sometimes. And then I make breakfast and my French press for everybody. And then my oldest daughter, she's 5. She usually gets up like 20 minutes later. We watch the sunrise, play a card game or something like that. Wait for mom and our other daughter to wake up. She's 20 months old. And then I'm out. So usually after I make breakfast for everybody, I'm out of the house and I'm working here at the church or at the nearest coffee shop. So what I do is that, I work on content creation. I'm working on my nonprofit that I started, which is sometimes I feel like I'm way in over my head with like making sure we're compliant with the IRS, we're grant ready. So like this is how crazy, this was a huge relief for us this week. We applied to be a 501c3 in March 2020.
Wow.
And this month, we finally got our letter back from the IRS that we're approved. We're an official 501c3 nonprofits. We've been pending for a year.
Wow.
It's crazy. So that was a huge relief. I was like, please God, let this happen. So there's so much, compliance, things that I need to do, merch creation. We're really working this year on creating more merch because our goal before Corona was we wanted to be speaking in high schools and middle schools all across the country. So this nonprofit that I started, it's called Stay Here, and it's for suicide prevention and mental health awareness. And we were getting booked. We were so excited about it. And then everything got canceled. And then when things like the vaccine and stuff started coming out at the end of 2020, I started to try again for the next school year. Still zeros. We're not ready, sir. We're not ready, sir. So our approach this year is more like, okay, wear our merch at your school and you be a voice. So we're going to try to just empower young people to do this themselves at their school. So we're going to create some educational content, video content, things that they can do on their own, and then rock this merch in your school or university or your church. Because even the church, we don't talk about mental health enough. And you be a voice. So we're really working on rolling that out. And I've been getting some great advice from the founder of Jesus Loves You Co., Trenton Jackson. He is just a genius. So I'm excited about what we're going to see this year with that organization. But that's most of my days. And I get home. I'm like the meal maker, man. I love cooking. So I get home, make dinner almost every night for the fam. And then last night we just started something new. We do like the family connection night. So on Wednesdays, we kind of do like a house church just with our family. We've got a 20-month-old and a 5-year-old. So the 20-month-old's just throwing Polly Pockets around and Barbies around and stuff. But our 5-year-old loved it, man. And I was just crying, just praying over her and reading the word with them. So we try to my wife and I really try to connect every night, pray together, get into the Word together, put the phones away.
Yeah.
The phones are away at night when we're together.
That's awesome. Yeah. I'm about to June 9th. I don't know how many days, probably like 71 or 2. We'll be getting married in Scottsdale, Arizona. So I'm pumped.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Come on.
All right. Two questions. Last two. Number one, what's the number one advice you've given me? Because I need it. And then we'll talk the other one after.
Yeah. The number one advice I can give you is, for me right now, like the advice that I'm taking for myself that I would give to you is do whatever you can to fall more in love with Jesus. And I think that sounds like so simple, but we're both in ministry, and it's very easy to go on autopilot mode. It's very easy to just be like, okay, I know the Bible, I know this about Jesus, so now I'm just going to use what I have. I'm just going to use this anointing he's given me, the calling he's given me, and I'm going to go fly. But if you do that for a while, you'll just get burnt out.
Yeah.
And you just use your gifting. If you use your own knowledge, you're going to get tired. And for me right now, I'm in a season where I want Jacob 10 years ago, when I first got born again, filled with the Holy Spirit, to be jealous of Jacob now. I want, to be more on fire, more in love, more in the Word than I ever have been before. And what's amazing about that is if you pray for that, God will give that to you.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy. It's like, you don't have to try to make it happen, which is hard. Right. It's hard to just be like, I'm on fire for Jesus. Yeah. I want more of Jesus. I want to know you, Jesus. Sometimes you need to just ask God, I would rather do this than spend time with you. Change me. Yeah. Change my heart. Soften my heart. I want to be with you. I want to be on fire for you. I want to be the most on fire person for Jesus in the room. Mm-hmm. That's what I want. Not for pride, but I just want to know Jesus. I want to know the Holy Spirit. So, every time I watch revival history videos of some person, I just stop and I'm like, God, give me what they had and more.
Yeah.
So just my advice for you is keep checking your heart and asking God, is there more that you want to do in me right now? Do you want to break me even more in love for you? Mm-hmm. And pray scary prayers.
Yeah.
Last week I was supposed to preach at our young adults at church, but my brother was in town, and he preached at this other young adults here in Vancouver. So obviously I went to go support my brother instead.
Yeah.
And the whole time he's preaching, I know my brother, man. I could have just been like, yeah, but I'm trying to engage. I'm like, God, I want to be so undone by this message. Mm-hmm. And at the end of this message, dude, it was so embarrassing. Yeah. I am bawling my eyes out.
Yeah.
There's a message about prayer. We need to pray. Only 2% of the church is really praying.
Wow.
So I'm asking God, change me, wreck me, give me more fire for this. And dude, my brother gets off the mic. He comes up to me and he's like, dude, you have snot running down your nose. It's so bad, bro. But he's like, pray for me. What is God doing in you? And I was so wrecked that night. And God continues to just do more and more in me. So my advice for you is just ask God. I don't want to change my prayers to, I don't want to be the most skilled leader. I want to be the most in love leader for Jesus. I want to burn for Jesus more than anything else.
Yeah.
So I know that's pretty basic and simple advice. It's the greatest. It's the greatest thing is to just fall more in love with Jesus.
Absolutely. All right. Final question. It's a big deal. So you're an NBA guy, right?
Yeah.
All right. So are you watching what's going on in March Madness as well?
I haven't actually, man. I feel
No, I had to have the app filled out 2 brackets to see what's going on, and So two questions, I guess, in one. Who's your NBA team? And then if you watch college basketball team. Then we can expand from there.
Yeah, my NBA team is definitely the Blazers.
Okay.
Because they're here in Portland.
Yep.
And I love the attitude of the Blazers, man. They feel pretty BA to me.
Oh, totally.
They're scrappy. I love the Blazers. And like when Seattle left, like I was a huge Sonics fan. I love going to Sonics games. You kind of have to slowly like the Blazers. That's the closest thing to you.
Yep.
So it was, for a while, it was just Blazers by default. But now I love to watch the Blazers. They're amazing. And then college basketball, I have never really gotten into college basketball.
Yeah.
I've just done like the March Madness brackets and stuff to see like, oh, if I could win. But I never really got into it.
Yeah, I respect it. Yeah, dude, you got to respect Dame. Literally for 5-6 years, I've been like, this guy is the best point guard in the NBA. Like,
he's crazy.
He's so good. And I love, like you said, his attitude.
Yeah.
So I'm a Bulls fan. We're working on it. Been fasting for years for them. So just watch out. Give us like 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. We got all the good rookies and sophomores. So
yeah.
So final question: who's winning NBA Finals this year? And besides the Lakers, we can't say the Lakers. We gotta have hope for something else.
I'm sorry, I don't have hope for anyone else.
It's like
who do you think?
Well, here's the deal: the Nets can bring on anybody, and they could bring MJ back if they want. I still don't think we're gonna beat the Lakers. You just can't beat LeBron right now.
No.
You just got to acknowledge it. I'm okay with it.
He's not human.
No, I'm a LeBron fan.
Not real.
I'm a LeBron fan. Of course, I'm going to always go MJ as the GOAT. I'm a Bulls fan, but you just can't bet against him.
Dude, I used to be like the biggest LeBron hater.
Yeah.
Like, I was a MJ and Kobe till I die.
Yeah.
Like, these are my guys. But, dude, he just is unstoppable.
No,
he is crazy. Like, if MJ versus LeBron too, like I wish we could see something like that. But LeBron is like a football player.
Correct.
Like, he is so huge.
Yes.
He would knock MJ to the floor.
Yeah, it wouldn't even be close 1-on-1.
No.
And I remember watching that debate on ESPN. It might have been a couple of weeks ago where they all debating a 1-on-1. It's like LeBron's like 6'8", 260. Like, he's not. I saw him live. They played against the Timberwolves in Minnesota, and it wasn't even close. It was like, that was back when Rubio was playing. He's like,
wow,
like this is not good.
No. So it's probably gonna be Lakers.
Yep, Lakers for the next 3 years until he goes somewhere else. Bulls. He'll just wrap up with the Bulls. So he overtook D Wade. Now he's overtaken Kobe. So now he's got to overtake MJ on all these teams. So
if he ever went to the Bulls, that'd be insane.
Let's go.
What number would he be though? I wonder.
He'll probably have to go back to 6.
Yeah.
Or MJ would have to like sign it off. I don't think Chicago Bulls fans would be okay with that, but
it'd be like blasphemy.
Right. Yeah. Bro, thank you so much for being on. I hope. Thank you for taking time out of your day. 9:30 your time. So hopefully you have a great rest of your day.